we initiate chaos theory guarantees that we'll play like lightning shots, sounding like thunder. For every time in the face that it hits us, we're faster. Well, they should know by now. They see the world keeps trying to shake us. It only wakes us. The pendulum swings. The pendulum swings. It's in a beautiful darkness. Only another. It's full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. All above the Betty Express. Misdirected from the start. It's a runaway train. Come a freight train. I come a freight train. In a beautiful darkness, the Betty Express. In a beautiful darkness.
Hey, you guys, we are still on, well, chronologically day 2, but our day 3 of covering this case. We are still with the detective who was kind of the lead in this case, but they all worked together, and he was the one that interviewed Devin on the day that Jonathan's body was found, and we kind of got to hear semi-cursed audio from that. But Devin, claims that Jonathan was alive in the garage the last time she saw him, smoking out in the garage. And, she said goodbye to Yoko and everything was fine. Now, that's what the defense is saying. But let's get back into this. This is a crazy trial. I did work on a bingo card for this case. This is all the crazy, though. You have a former adult film actress who had a relationship with Jonathan and then decided to date and marry his son. It's all the crazy, all the insane, and, well, the perfect holiday trial. Because, I mean, it's the gift of crazy that keeps on giving.
He said, his ring, we actually threw his engagement ring in the trash last night. So he said it's done, he's 100% done, and he wants to have a family with the girls and everything, but we're not driving back and forth. Yeah. We brought as much as we could to the house last night. Literally, we were doing this last night to get him out of the house.
Yeah. Have you seen any text messages she sent him or anything?
No, sir. He just said that he was done, and I just kind of took him at his word.
And she wasn't laughing at him?
I don't know if that was the case. I think,
Just wondering,
I think she was trying to get back with him because her situation wasn't working out. Like, she left with some other guy, and it wasn't working out based on what he was telling me. And he kept saying that she was reaching out to him, and then I think some girl named Melissa started reaching back out to him. Yes. And he said she reached out to him on Facebook.
What's Jonathan's phone?
Now, the sort of love connections in this are crazy enough that I might actually have to do a murder board just to explain this. But Devin, the defendant, had been in a relationship with Jonathan, the decedent, the gentleman who lost his head, or had his head taken, I guess is more accurate. They did end up having 2 children while in this relationship. Well, Jonathan and Devin broke up because Devin decided to start a relationship with Devier, Jonathan's son, from a previous marriage. And then they got married, but Devin told everyone around them that this was a marriage of convenience for insurance benefits. Yeah, it sounds as crazy as it is. Now, Jonathan at this point had found someone else, I guess this Andrea person, who he was engaged to, but Devin decided to tell him that she wanted to get back together with Jonathan to make a good family home for the kids. Now, if you think all of this is a recipe for a Snapped episode, well, it in fact was, because Jonathan ended up losing his life and, being decapitated. And these girls now have no one, I'm sure. So the defense is trying to put the murder on Devier, the son, but my guess is that because she was found guilty, the state proves its case. This has already been adjudicated, so we are kind of watching at our own pace over the holidays because this is just a crazy case and perfect for the Petty Express.
Yes, sir, that's his mom. Yeah, I was sitting there talking, 702-561-9242. Yeah, I've been trying to reach him, but I just thought his phone was off again, because that's normally what happens when I can't find him. Like from non-payment.
Yeah. So there's nobody that he's mentioned that has issues with him that you can think of other than Andrea, who they had a breakup. They're supposed to be married, but then they decided to work it out with you. You said that she left with another guy, so it doesn't sound like she was too upset.
No, he was saying that it wasn't working out where she was at, and she was trying to, yes. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't know if he was saying that just to kind of make me want him more, or what the situation is, but that is what he was saying.
And then what about Anthea? She's the mother of Debbie.
Listen, no, she lives in California.
Does he talk to her at all? Something like that. So, you guys, what did you guys?
JKD Buck, now that you say that, I do wonder if he is going to try to get me to buy some OxyClean or a Sham Wow. Although the Sham Wow guy is running for Senate in Texas. I love this timeline. This timeline is the greatest. Good morning, Jason. Hope you're doing well. I know I needed a kind of rest day yesterday too, so I completely understand that.
Start talking back.
We started talking more, I would say, at the beginning of this year, because I was coming down here to take the girls to school and things like that, and he was already saying Andrea was kind of on her way out, so.
Okay. So the girls were living over here with Yoko and Johnson. When did they move back in with you?
The day school got out.
So around May.
May 26th, 22nd.
They come back in with you and you guys are starting to work things out.
Now, we are going to find out, according to the state's opening statement, that Devin, the defendant, did not have custody of the kids. She was sort of more of the weekend dad. Jonathan was the one that had primary custody, and he had been awarded primary custody quite recent or quite close to this incident happening. It does seem like Devin's desire to get back with Jonathan was more prompted to with access to her children, not so much that she decided she'd finally made the Devier Jonathan choice and picked Jonathan. It seemed that she was very upset that she was losing time with her kids, and this might all have been orchestrated to get more time with her kids.
At that point. So you guys have been off and on since when?
No, we're not off and on. We're just trying to make a family work. Like, we're not physically intimate or anything like that. We're just trying to, because the girls really want us with one house, yeah. And it saves on gas, so we're trying to make that.
Do you have a boyfriend or anything right now?
Yeah, I'm married.
You're married?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so honestly, I was not told that information. I thought you
I'm
had.
married, but okay.
We were told that you guys are possibly trying to get back together.
No, we're trying to get everyone in one house and be a family
Oh, okay.
for the girls.
So,
Yeah, because you know what's good for children is being in a hyper tense and dysfunctional environment instead of two separate houses with functional parents in each of those separate houses. No, a chaos of living with mom's ex-boyfriend, our dad, mom's new husband, his son. Yeah, that's totally normal.
who were you married to?
I'm married to Debbie.
The son.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So Debbie Air, his son, and you are now married. How many people there?
Almost 2 years. And yeah, John knows.
So it wasn't like you guys trying to get back together. Like you said, intimately. He's just gonna move back in with you to be with the girls.
Yes, sir.
Was there a reason for that? Just for the girls, or was there other?
It benefited everyone. He was having issues here. Yoko was trying to get him out, and he needed advice.
Debbie Air was good with having dad come back.
So she's over here telling the cop like this is totally normal. No, John and I aren't getting back together. He's just moving in with me and his son, my current husband, to help us raise our children. Yeah, this makes total perfect sense. I mean, totally normal, as everyone does, co-parent with their ex and son.
You know
I
that
wouldn't say good, but he understood. It wasn't his first choice for everything.
And then I spelled that here.
Deviere.
Deviere.
Yes.
Good. 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Yes.
Has there been any issues with Deviere and Jonathan?
Like, they don't work together anymore, but they're not really.
Did he used to work as like a handyman and stuff with them? What does Deviere do now?
Installations for like security systems and stuff.
Like cameras and things like that?
Just taking the cameras down.
Who did?
John and
The defense is going to make a big deal about the fact that Deviere works with home security systems, installing Ring cameras, stereo systems, that kind of thing, and that he would take a picture of the system when he installed it. Now, Deviere's phone wasn't at the scene. No one saw Deviere near the house where his father was found dead. So it is a little bit hard to put Deviere at the scene when Devin was seen at the scene and was in fact talking to Yoko around the time that they timed out that he died, at least. So it's a little hard to put Deviere there. But according to the defense, Deviere snuck out because of his magic, security knowledge, and was able to bypass every single camera, including cameras, along his street, along his parents' or his grandparents' street, unalive his dad, and leave no trace.
we had just taken the cameras down. They're at my house.
There were cameras on the house. When did those go down?
Last night, we just brought them over.
Or you just took them off last night?
Yes, sir.
There's no cameras left on that wall. And then, how many dogs are in the house right now that you know of?
4.
And then are they typically, where do they usually stay? I mean, like in the house, like where, or
Downstairs
outside?
in John's room.
So they just all hang out downstairs in that. Is that considered a room? Like you walk down and there,
That's where he sleeps.
that's where he stays?
Yeah.
And they usually just stay out in there. Does he walk outside at all ever? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, he puts them outside. There's a patio door thing. So yeah.
So that balcony door?
Yes, sir.
Does that ever get locked, or he just leaves them outside?
No, it gets locked sometimes. Like when he's trying to eat and he doesn't want them.
Coming in and out. Alright, let's see what's there. You and Debbie are married for 2 years. He's just, John was just going, moving back in with you guys. The girls, trying to keep the family together, and it was beneficial for everybody. You're saying because the driving, things like that? Or
Not
saving
the
on-
driving. It was just the girls really want us together. And I know it's kind of complicated for them to understand that I'm married to Debbie, so we were bringing John into the house just to kind of keep things. I know it sounds weird, but
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
So, do you have any kids with Debbie here?
no, sir, I can't have any more children.
You're all having kids.
I don't know who you could talk to. The neighbor, David. I know John was supposed to go over there last night. He's doing like a crowd play thing.
Like some kind of seafood boil
Party
or
thing,
something.
yeah.
And then, did Jonathan have any workers that he had?
Oh, yeah.
Like any normal, like day to day, or was it always something different?
He had a few that were pretty routine.
You know their names?
I just know Andrew. I think the neighbor on the other house to that way worked with them sometimes.
You know his name, by chance?
I want to say his name is David.
David?
Yeah, not this guy, but David.
You know Andrew's last name? You don't have Andrew's number, do you, by chance?
There is other things that are wonky. They are going to notice that the Ring doorbell camera that was on Yoko's house was taken down and in her garage for some reason. Now, she is going to try to preempt that. In fact, she's doing that right now in her interview, saying, oh, well, John brought over the Ring doorbell camera. Conveniently on the night he happened to pass away, and it would have caught whoever getting out of the front door.
Would Debbie ever know who Andrew is? Would they work together?
I don't know. Because like when John texts me, it's usually, hey, I got this job, it's this, and this. So I have those. But they don't really have names on them or anything like that.
When John goes to bed, is there like normal clothing that he wears, like pajamas? Should be right, like when he sleep, there's just like shorts on, no shirt, or just like an underwear, boxers.
The last time John and I shared a room, my daughter was 3 days old, my oldest daughter. So he used to wear boxers to bed.
And that's it.
Yes, sir.
So that sucks. I know it was a long time ago, but sometimes habits don't change, you know?
I know he used to wear boxers. I don't really.
That's all I need, just do the boxers, no shirt, that's it.
Yes, sir. When I left, he was wearing boxers. He had on, I want to say like black boxers on. Boxer briefs.
Does John have any tattoos?
Yes.
Do you know where and what?
On his arm, I don't know which one is which, but it says Oriental John.
And then anywhere else? Do you know? Oh, it's left arm?
One on each arm. I don't know
Oh, like
which one.
Oriental down.
Yeah. But he's had those as long as I've known him.
So you guys been moving his stuff out of here, or was it the girl stuff?
Oh, clothes and like the majority of his stuff last night.
And how long have you guys been moving stuff out of the house?
Last night.
That's it?
Yes, sir. He loaded everything up that he could, and we just brought it over. Like, he made it as quick as possible.
And you're saying Devier was good with this arrangement?
He was okay with it. I wouldn't say good is not his first option, but he understood.
You're saying he understood that it benefited everybody?
Yeah, it wasn't like there was a lot of animosity about it.
And,
The biggest problem was the dogs.
and when you guys were starting to talk to each other again, you and John, you say you haven't been into it together since, for how long?
2018.
Do you know anybody else that he might have been dating, or Andrea?
Everybody. He was dating Sarah, Andrea, Michelle. He was just like, when we separated, he was just
Just going on dates like crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know how many. He said he had 5 girlfriends at one time.
As far as you know, he wasn't selling like anything illegal right now.
No, his hustle was to go to the Goodwill, buy things, and then try to resell them. Yeah, that's why, like, if you look in the backyard, there's a ton of bikes.
So he just buys stuff.
He would get, like, charged and just random things from his jobs, and then try to resell them. Like, it seemed like he was trying to do better than what he had been doing in previous years.
Were you guys hanging out at all? Because I know you were all day yesterday, but prior to that, it was like a regular thing. You guys would hang out, or?
We actually were here a couple of times this week, me and the girls. We had dinner and everything like that. I know we were here on the 4th, because we went over to David's house. I think we were here like a week after that. So it was just whenever.
Does Devier come with you guys?
No. It was me, John, and the girls. We were trying to build that together.
And then for, Yoko is Devier's parent too, right?
Yes.
Is the reason why he would want to come over?
No.
He just left it with you guys? Any additional questions? For the sake of practice? Okay. Well, we have your phone number, so if there's anything extra that we need to talk to you about, we'll give you a phone, okay? Only thing I said, so 43, and that's it.
Shall I keep going?
Okay, council approved.
Ooh, got a side bag. Now, there was something that the state put on a Post-it note and then showed to the defense and then showed to the judge. So I am not sure, but maybe something was said or slightly audible that was supposed to be,
Lunch recess. During this recess, she must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors.
And we get to go past these breaks, which I like. And I remember why I took the closed captions off. They were off all day on this particular one. I knew there was a reason because normally I love closed captions.
Is actually the backyard photo, and we would move to admit, or actually that one is admitted. 168A for the record.
Okay.
291A. Oh, actually. For this witness, we showed defense counsel following exhibits. I'll give you this. 239, 243, 265 through 268, 291A, 339, 344 through 352, 360 through 361, 363 through 368, 373 through 389, 394, and 436.
Okay, and are those going to be stipulated, or are you?
We will stipulate the admission of those exhibits.
Those will be amended to stipulation. Anything else outside the presence?
I don't believe so.
Nope, that covers it.
Okay.
Okay, so we seem to have figured out what the whole post-it note was. It seems like some of the evidence was either off a number or something like that. So they just went through and on the record, but outside of the jury's presence, corrected all of those with the correct exhibit and item number, and stipulated that they were all correct. So I'm glad that they are able to get things going.
All rise for the jury.
Was found?
That's correct.
Okay. But anything else is kind of follows the internet.
Yes.
You then enter after a search warrant is authorized by a judge.
Yes,
And do you go into the scene itself?
I do.
Do you stay downstairs, upstairs, go through the whole thing?
I was in charge of searching a few different locations. One was the upstairs master bedroom, one was the kitchen, another was that kind of middle room, dining room area, as well as like a converted living room section that was more of a bedroom.
And is the converted room where John's body was found?
That is correct.
Okay. So let's start with upstairs. Was there anything of evidentiary value found upstairs?
No,
Anything of potential evidentiary value found in the kitchen area?
no,
Anything found in that level where the kitchen is? And then let's focus in on the converted room, John's room, I'm going to call it. When you went into John's room, did you get an overall perspective of the scene?
I did.
Did you go kind of look around and search different various items?
Yes,
Did you make any observations of the body itself?
I did.
And what were those?
That the body was laying, across the bed with obviously decapitated.
Did you notice a substantial amount of blood under his head? Or where his head should be, I'm sorry?
There was blood on the mattress, I believe, as well as on the floor.
Okay. Did you observe any blood on the ceiling, on the walls, or anything like that?
I did not notice anything else there. No.
And correct.
Now, the very weird thing, because they do allude to this, and you will find out in the trial, where John was sleeping was not considered, a real bedroom. So it didn't have like a door on it. It had, a kind of a curtain. And a forensic anthropologist, according to the state's opening statement, is going to state that some of the tool markings or some of the markings on the area of decapitation, it looks like a power tool of some kind was used to assist in the decapitation. And I'm just wondering how anyone could sleep through this. The mother was there, the mother's boyfriend, Yoshida, was there, and no one heard this decapitation. It is a bit odd. There are a lot more questions than, are being answered right now as to what in the craziness went on in this house.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been in homicide about 2 years now, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, had you responded to violent scenes before, even if you weren't on homicide?
Of course.
What types of scenes?
I spent close to 9 years in canines, so we went to a lot of different violent calls, obviously looking for suspects that had fled, obviously in patrol work and things of that nature. I was also an officer in charge for a while, so obviously responding to like your typical patrol calls, violent crime scenes, suicides, anything of that nature.
Okay. Did you make any general observations about the blood situation in this particular scene?
It looked a bit localized around the actual body.
What do you mean by localized?
As far as like the pool on the mattress as well as underneath, but nothing like you mentioned as far as like on the ceiling or anything like that.
just so I can clarify, did you observe any blood staining or patterning or dragging or anything other than in that small area around the bed?
I did not.
Anywhere near the front door, the garage, the back door, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did you observe any of the victim's personal belongings, such as his wallet, his truck keys, his phone, or his social security card within the scene?
I did not locate those items. No.
Did you observe any weapons that could have been used to do this crime?
Obviously, there's any kitchen knives and things of that nature, but nothing that was obvious.
Yeah. Nothing in the room?
Not that I located.
No kitchen knives in the room?
Not that I recall. No.
You're referring to the kitchen knives in the kitchen?
Yes, correct.
Any of those, did those have any apparent blood on them or look to be
No.
dirty, I guess? When, at some point in the investigation, do you get called out to execute a search warrant at a different residence?
I did.
Where was that?
That was going to be at, I believe it's 5510 Porcupine Road.
Showing you what's been admitted as 8.
Well, so the defense is making allegations that it is possible, given the lack of splatter or any sort of blood cast off in the room, and the fact that the blood was somewhat localized to the bed, the bedding, and the floor, that the beheading didn't happen in the home, and that Devon, being a rather small-statured woman, couldn't move the body, kind of manipulate the body, and do this on her own. So the defense, now Devon had been this close to pleading guilty and then decided to take this case to trial. So the defense is doing everything they can to put this on Deviere, her husband, Jonathan's son, but it's not going to pan out for them. Yes, it is probably safe for you. That reminds me, I should pick up some cider while we're out, because we need to get stocking stuffers. I have put everything off to the very last possible minute this year, so Mr. Moe and I still need to, go get stocking stuffers.
Do you recognize this generally?
Yes.
And what does this appear to be?
That looks like, obviously at the top, it's going to be 5510 Porcupine Rim Street. And then down at the bottom, it appears to be the Paula Cure address in the city.
Okay. And the information on the left, does that look like just a general Google mapping?
Yes.
And it appears here that there are a couple different routes you can take, but overall it's about 32 to 36 minutes between the two via a vehicle.
Yeah, so that appears to be what the route says.
And this particular route that's highlighted, it says 25.8 miles. Is that fair?
Yes.
If you can see that. And this Paladura scene within your jurisdiction in Henderson.
Yes.
Porcupine Rim scene is within Metro's jurisdiction, but as a result of you investigating a Henderson homicide, you go into that jurisdiction.
Yes.
Is that common for agencies to overlap during
Absolutely.
investigations? When was it that you responded to this Porcupine Rim scene, if you can recall?
I believe that was later in the evening on the 7th.
So we're still on the 7th? Okay. Is that a yes?
Yes.
States 239, already admitted. Is this the Porcupine Rim address?
There are such unfortunate things in this trial, like the fact that one of the houses is Porcupine Rim in a case with an adult film star who boffed a father and son duo. Like, the crazy just doesn't, I don't know. We have to ask me, Pearl, what to do about this, because why would you name a street Porcupine Rim? I mean, I know I would for the giggles, but why would anyone not named Mo, do this?
Appears to be so, yes.
And there's two very apparent vehicles, but then there's one kind of tucked behind the van. Can you see that?
Yes.
Were you present for the searching of any of that?
For the overall residence, yes.
Okay. Were you present for the searching of the vehicles, or?
I believe the other detectives in our unit were actually searching those specific vehicles.
Okay. And you obviously are working in tandem with other detectives and crime scene investigators as
That's
well.
correct.
So I pulled a few photos. We'll have a crime scene investigator talk about the scene later, but I want to direct you to a few things. States 265, do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this?
That appears to be the front entry room inside the residence.
Okay. Fair to say there's a shoe rack on the right side here?
Correct.
And did you find any shoes that were black and white Nikes with a white Nike swoosh across the outside?
I did not locate it.
Showing you states 268. Is this the same room?
Yes,
Do you see these samurai swords here?
I do.
Were those of something of interest that you guys were interested in?
Yes.
And did you observe those?
I do not recall actually pulling them out personally, but I did observe them in the room.
Okay. Did somebody
I do.
pull them out
I'm
and check
working
if there
on
was blood on
those.
them?
I assume so, yes.
Okay. But you wouldn't know that? You don't recall?
I did not personally do that.
Okay. 267. I can't remember why I put this up. Do you see anything of evidentiary value found in this one?
No.
291A. Did you participate in any of the upstairs searching?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you recall ever having found you or anyone on your team black and white female-sized Nike shoes with a white swoosh along the side?
I don't recall it. No.
Did you participate heavily in the search of the main bedroom?
The downstairs master?
Yes.
Right, I did.
Tell us generally what your observations were of that bedroom.
Appeared to be like the largest bedroom in the house. That was downstairs. It was cluttered with lots of different clothes, papers, electronic devices, things of that nature.
And during the course of your search warrant, are you looking for particular items that are authorized by the judge?
We were.
And then if you come across something that was not originally expected or authorized, what is the procedure then?
Well, typically we'll obviously take note of it and identify it and contact the lead detective to determine what course to take on that one.
Okay. In this particular case, were you looking for any items associated with the victim?
We were.
And did you find some items associated with the
I
victim?
did.
Describe the search process and how you came upon those items.
So with the search process, just when executing a search warrant, we obviously let our crime scene analysts first enter. They take overall crime scene photos of the thing, or the way the condition of the room was before we enter. After they're done with that process, then we enter, and then we actually physically search for the items that are within the search warrant.
Okay. In this particular case, were you tasked with searching through the dresser in that master room?
Yes,
And did you find something of note?
I did.
What was that?
I found a black wallet as well as a set of car keys.
And you know, before we get there, I'm going to show you 366. You recognize that?
Yes.
You remember where that was found?
I believe that was on the bed.
373. What is this?
That looks like the same bag with the cell phone.
Okay, and then we have some items that appear to have been removed from that bag.
Appears to be, yes.
374, was that an item that was in that bag?
I believe so.
367, is that another item that was in that bag?
Yes.
You have an empty wallet.
368, is that another item that was in that bag?
Yes.
Before the camera goes and broadcasts that to the world, can I borrow your money? Fair to say that's a social security card, sir?
That appears to be.
Do you not have an intern that looks through these things and whites out, you know, people's personal information? Also, he's deceased. Well, I guess someone could steal his SSI, but it's kind of public, like all the public, that he's deceased.
Yes.
Just for the record, I've redacted out the social security number, Judge. 368. Can you read into the record the name on that social security card?
The social security card says Jonathan James Willett.
$394. Is that the contents of that wallet?
It appears to be.
$395. The rear side of the contents?
If you zoom out a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Unbalanced equation because it gives me a thrill to be your top fan. Well, thank you, Unbalanced. My kids are at home just happy they don't have school. And then we are getting the stuff for cookies today to make them. And my boys are like, we don't have school. It's like Lord of the Flies out here. My youngest was like, I'm not putting on pants for 2 weeks. I'm like, yes, you are. It's cold. But he was like, no, there are no rules. We're out. Then he realized that, like, we still have chores and he can't just, go fully wild. And he was like, this is unfair. What does he have a business
364,
card for?
same wallet. This is the condition where it was actually found.
Yes.
363, same thing, just showing a different angle of how the social security card was found.
Yes.
You mentioned searching the dresser.
I did.
John, this is the Devin Mitchells. So Nevada versus Devin Mitchells. Devin Mitchells was on her way to plead to taking the life of her ex-boyfriend and the father of her 2 children, but then decided to go to trial and try to blame her ex-boyfriend's death on her current husband, his son. Yes, it is that crazy. What happens in Vegas apparently goes to trial, because holy goodness, that is just the tip of the crazy in this.
Showing you 344. You generally recognize this?
I do.
So tell us about the search and how you came upon this item, and was it in this position when you first found it?
So when I first found it, it was actually in the top left drawer of the dresser in the back right corner, buried under like women's lingerie, underwear, things of that nature. The items, which were actually the wallet as well as the Chevrolet keys, were in a series of bags. So like the wallet, the keys were in one bag, and that was tied off, and then that was in another bag, and so forth. I believe for a total of 6 bags.
Ultimately, do you and other people document the process of
I don't know who needs to hear this, but double bagging the evidence does not destroy the evidence. So regardless of the amount of plastic bags you hide all the evidence together, it's still not going to hide it, even if you put it in your thong drawer.
unraveling those bags to see what's inside? 345, unraveling the bags?
Yes.
346, unraveling the bags?
Yes.
347, is this the innermost bag?
I believe so.
And I note the person holding it is wearing gloves.
Yes.
Is that you, do you know?
More than likely, I believe it is.
Okay, anyone who touched this bag within the scene, would they have been wearing gloves?
Yes.
And what's the purpose of that?
Just to basically prevent contamination of the crime scene as much as possible.
Ultimately, is that last bag opened?
I believe so. There could be one more. I don't.
Okay, let me show you 348. Ultimately, I mean, every bag is opened.
Yes.
And what is inside?
So that is a black wallet with Jonathan's driver's license in it, as well as a set of Chevrolet car keys.
349, a little closer image, it shows both those items.
Correct.
350, there's the truck keys in there.
Yes.
351, just a different angle of both items.
Correct.
And 352, that's the outside of the wallet.
Yes.
Ultimately, 436, that's photographed later, correct?
I believe that was, I believe that was taken by a crime scene analyst somewhere else.
360, what are we looking at here?
That would be the bed in that same bedroom.
And what is this item here?
That is a blue striped dress.
361, same dress.
Correct.
Appears there's a notebook next to it.
Yes.
Did that notebook contain anything?
I don't know if it was that specific notebook, but there were various, I believe, notebooks in the area.
Note to self, start burning all of my notebooks. Just a thought.
Were there various notebooks and writings in the area?
I believe so, yes.
335, does that show some of those writings?
Yes.
336, is that zoomed in on the one in the center of the photograph?
Yes.
Well, she has good handwriting. Better than mine. I mean, hers is much more girly. Who'd have thought trying to get back with your ex while marrying his son
338,
would be
is that
hard?
another one of those writings? This one like crumpled up?
Yes.
339, another one of those writings?
Yes.
Devier, wait. Devier, my dearest love, I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. There is nowhere I would rather be than by your side. You make each day a blessing. The moment you held me in your arms, I knew I did not want to be with anyone else's arm or feel anyone else's arms around me. It's weird, like, I don't want to feel anyone else's arms. Also, you're better than your dad. I mean, that's the entire weirdness is just weird. I feel completely oh, you drive me wild. I feel completely free with you. I know you don't judge me. You take me as I am, even on my crazy days. I will forever be yours, mind, body, and soul. Also, your dad's moving in with us so he can be a father to your stepdaughters, his daughters. Again, Fleetwood Mac would marvel at the love quadrangle going on here.
.337, another one of those writings?
Yes.
Okay, which something. But what makes these things even better, he took Blank's wisdom from Kyle. Why Kyle? Well, Kyle is the smartest in all of South Park. Or Stan. Never take Cartman's advice. He OD'd, almost died. He asked Devier for gas money. He asked for deletion money. Okay, what is... Again, also, if you're having... What is going on? He wants to say
376,
yeah,
another one of those writings?
maybe don't have a
Yes.
full notebook full of hate if you're...
And this starts with, so it has been officially 3 days since Devier and I have stopped talking. He doesn't really seem two-faced.
Yes.
In fact, he doesn't seem bothered by it at all. I will admit it is definitely easier than I thought it would be to not talk with him. I don't feel comfortable even being around him anymore. I shouldn't have to beg for attention or affection. I shouldn't have to beg him to be attracted to me. He probably won't even show up until late. This whole life just feels wrong. I feel like I was put in the wrong body. There's a horrible feeling knowing that you have just given your heart to someone who really doesn't want it. Yeah, maybe outside the family. Outside. I don't know. Again, when you date within a family reunion, the drama is kind of on you at some point.
337, another one of these writings.
Correct.
378, again, another.
Yes.
379, another.
Yes.
380, another.
Yes.
381, another.
Yes.
382, another.
Correct.
383, another.
Yes.
Yes.
384, another. Oops.
Yes.
385, another.
Yes.
386, another.
Wow.
387, another.
Yes.
She just filled the whole damn notebook of premeditation up. I mean, post-meditation.
388, another.
Yes.
He can't use the other bathroom when a person willingly acknowledge that he ruined your life, but still believes they should do the bare minimum to fix it. They are selfish and they just don't care. I don't understand what that has to do with him using the bathroom. I mean, far be it from me to question the hysterical ravings of another woman, but I am confused as to how to make that equation add up.
And 389, the last one.
Yes.
This one starts with broken heart again, another lesson learned.
Yes.
Woman could have saved everyone a lot of pain and heartbreak had she just gone on to do the steps of a middle school breakup where you go to Hot Topic and do, an emo stage for a little bit instead of, violence.
The following day, did you participate in writing a search warrant for some call detail records?
I did.
Do you remember which call detail records you were searching for?
That would have been the Devin's phone number, which was the 702-677-4430 number.
Okay, and call detail records come from the cell phone company, right?
Correct. And in that case, I believe it was AT&T.
And other detectives will be better suited to talk about the contents of those, not yourself.
Correct.
You helped obtain them?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Carlos?
Yes, thank you.
Let's see if he has mega doof energy with this guy.
Gathering here from counsel's desk. You would testify that these were recovered at the Porcupine residence?
Were those ones that we were just going over?
Correct. Several of them, correct?
Correct.
You reviewed these in preparation for your testimony today?
I did.
Would you agree with me that these appear to be entries into a diary, perhaps?
I'd say like a journal of sorts.
Okay, fair enough. And did these writings contain dates that you recall?
I don't recall seeing dates.
Okay. So in reference to the contents of these, you can't give us any indication as to when they were written?
No.
Months before, years before, fair to say?
That's a fair assessment.
Are you aware of how long the occupant, or first of all, who owned this home?
Legally, I don't know exactly who owned the home, but I was told that Devin and Debbie lived there.
Okay. Are you aware as to how long Devin had been living there?
I am not aware of that.
Years, months, no idea. In fact, you have no idea where these were authored, correct?
No.
Were you aware of what was going on between the two houses?
If she didn't date it, you must acquit. I mean, it doesn't have the ring of if it don't fit, you must acquit. But not quite Johnny Cochran.
The Palmadura house and the Porcupine house. Occupants, what was going on, a move. Were you aware of what was going on?
Yes.
And based upon your knowledge, Jonathan Willett was moving into the Porcupine residence,
Yes.
correct?
That's what we were under the impression.
And that was the residence where you found the wallet, the keys, Social Security
There
card,
is a
correct?
correlation.
You'd agree with me that it appears that items had been moved in, they were out of place. I mean, the place was kind of messy and looked like a move.
It did.
Okay. Did you have, when you were at the Palmadura house, that house was in disarray as well, correct?
I think that's a fair assessment.
fair to say that it appeared that the occupant, specifically Jonathan, was moving.
Yes.
In reference to the interview that you had had with Devin, that interview began approximately 12 p.m.,
I believe so.
and that was at the Paladura house, correct?
Yes. In the general area. It wasn't inside the house, obviously, but it was out front.
Okay. Fair to say that she had been summoned to the house and she had come.
She did.
Had there been a discussion that neighbors had called her or something that she knew something had occurred?
I got the phone number from one of the neighbors, and then I made phone contact with Devin.
Okay. And asked her if she would come and speak to you?
Yes.
And she came willingly?
Yes.
And she appeared to cooperate with you?
Yes.
She obviously was made aware that something bad had happened.
Yes.
And it concerned Jonathan.
Yes.
And she came and freely and voluntarily answered your questions.
She did.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Oh, actually, one more question. You were given the map, the distance between the two houses. Do you have that, Council?
Yeah, right. I have one map, it's probably under this.
Do you recall that it was a Google map and the distance?
So that with internet map, yes.
I have it in my notes. It was about
There was a time on that map, correct?
32 to 36-ish minutes.
Now, when Google calculates that time takes into account the time of day, correct?
I'm not sure with Google. I'm more familiar with Apple Maps. Like as far as on your iPhone, I know that it will typically account for traffic conditions.
So the time, perhaps, if that's pulled in the middle of the day, would be a different time. Let's say that if it were pulled at 2:30 or 3 in the morning.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, fair to say that those distances and that, well, the distance remain the same, but the time to go from point A to point B would presumably be less in the middle of the night versus
Yes.
in the middle of the day. And when you pulled that, or when that was prepared, are you aware of what time of day that was?
I am not.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Do the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, Deputy, you're excused. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
You know, I have a couple of wigs that Loki the cat has tried to eat that are about matted to hell, so I do have a wig for her. I in fact do. I'll have to get out. I have several wigs that Loki has tried to destroy that are on my to-do list to detangle, so I actually do have a wig that might work for her tomorrow. Ooh, lip balm it up, sir.
The state calls Devier Willett.
Ooh, the sunbin. Sunbin.
Here.
You solemnly swear or testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You have a seat. Sir, if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Debbie Willett,
Can you spell that for us, sir?
DEBIERWILLETTE.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Devier, how old are you?
29, sir.
I guess we just so you don't have. What is your birthday?
March 1st, 1996.
What was your relationship to Jonathan Willett?
I was his son.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2 younger sisters.
And what's your mom's name?
Arminthia Sands.
Do you remember or know when your dad and Armentia split?
I was probably about 9 years old.
When they split, you were 9 years old. Where were you guys living generally? Was it here in Vegas?
I don't remember.
Did you go back and forth between Vegas and California?
Yes, sir.
Quite a bit in your life?
Never summer.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where your dad moved here and stayed in Vegas pretty much permanently until his death?
Yes, sir.
And where was he living in the latter years of his life?
On Paul, Georgia.
Is that with your grandma?
Yes, sir.
Is that Yoko?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time when you were introduced to a woman by the name of Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, you end up getting married to Nikki. And we have a lot to unpack here. I'm sorry to air your dirty laundry, but we have to ask a lot of questions about this, okay?
Yeah. I'm
When you first met Nikki, was she dating or in a relationship with your dad?
They were dating at the time.
They were dating at the time?
Yes, sir.
Where were they living at the time, if you know?
I don't know.
When your dad and Nikki were together, did they eventually have children?
Yes, sir.
And is that your two sisters?
Yes, sir.
We don't need to say their names, but what are their approximate ages? Okay, that's okay.
Sir, you're supposed to be the stepfather, but you're also the brother. I mean, in one of those functions, you should be vaguely aware of how old your siblings slash stepdaughters are. Also, just asking for a friend, but how many gummies are you on? Those are some Jim Brewer eyes, not, taking in account, your astigmatism. Those are still some very Jim Brewery eyes.
I just need an approximate. So are they right now under the age of 13?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So were you in kind of living with Dad or anything like that when he was with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And when they had the children together, were they living together?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember where that was?
Not the numbers, but it was on Blue Magic Street.
Blue Magic? Is that here in Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Before the girls were born, did there come a point in time where you and Nikki became intimate? Or was it after?
It was after.
Okay. So girls are born. Do Nikki and your dad stay together after the girls are born?
Yes, sir.
And for how long did they stay together before they split? When eventually, after the girls are born, do you and Nikki enter into an intimate relationship?
Yes, sir.
About how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how old she was at the time?
No, sir.
How was it that that relationship kind of started? Do you remember who kind of, I don't mean to be crass, but like who made the first move or any of that? Okay, it was a long time ago, right?
Yes, sir.
While you were intimate with Nikki initially, was she still dating your dad? Or in a relationship with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I just need Purell for my soul. That's so grody. Like, ugh. You know when they're Okay, I grew up during the abstinence only era of, uh, sex talks in school. So they would like, how the teacher would pass out a piece of gum and everyone would touch it. And then you'd be like, would you put that gum in your mouth? No, no. Oh, this just makes me want to get Purell. Like, duh. This is how we get super gonorrhoesyphilitis. Y'all, this is how it happens. You have been warned. Do not go to the family reunion to find love. I don't care how great your dad's girlfriend looks. No.
Does it embarrass you to admit that in front of a bunch of strangers?
Yes, sir.
Did you continue being intimate with Nikki for an extended period of time?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if your dad found out about the intimate part of your relationship?
No, sir.
And I'm not going to say it a bunch of times, but when I say intimate, I mean sexual. We agree there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time where you all three lived under the same roof?
Yes, sir.
And was that the Magic House?
Yes, sir.
And is that when the
Mushroom House?
intimate relationship started out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell me if you can remember, when is it that any of you three move out of Blue Magic? Like, we need to get a sequence of events. Did you move out first? Did they split and move in different places? Or can you remember that for me?
I moved out first.
And where did you move to?
I moved back to California.
And where did you stay in California, if you remember?
187 Poppy Circle.
Was that with other family?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Eventually, do you move back to Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, sir.
Okay. When you do move back to Vegas, after moving to Cali, you move back to Vegas, do you move in with Yoko at the Paladura address?
No, sir.
Where did you move that time?
Back to the Blue Magic House.
Okay. Did you then leave back to California for a second time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And while I stepped one step too far ahead, when you moved back to Vegas the first time, you moved into Blue Magic. Who was living at Blue Magic?
My father, Nikki, Tina, and Jeanette.
The two girls?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
Was there some kind of discussion with Nikki at that time about being pregnant?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
I moved back to California, and I was told that she was pregnant with my child, and if I didn't move back, she was going to have that child.
So she tells you this?
He told me that.
So you had gotten out of the situation back in Cali, and you, I presume, talked to her over the phone or something?
Yes, sir.
She tells you she's pregnant, it's yours, and unless you come back, she is going to have the child.
Yes, sir.
What did you do in response to that?
I moved back.
Did you witness her go to a doctor?
No, sir.
Did she tell you anything about that child she claimed was yours?
She told me that she had gotten an abortion.
But you never saw any documentation or
No, sir.
anything like that? Okay. So you're pulled back into the situation, you're back here in Vegas, and then you move out again to California.
Yes, sir.
When you moved back to California that time, do you remember your dad, Nikki, and the girls still staying at Blue Magic together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you go back to California, and when is it that you return?
A couple of years after that.
A couple of years?
I believe it was 4
Okay.
years after.
And you spoke with Ms. Griffith and I last night, right?
Yes, sir.
We talked about.
Yeah, Jason J, my question is the following. If she pulled that excuse, did she pull that when she was a corn star? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how comfortable John was with her adult film past. This this is all the crazy. Like this is the tip of the iceberg on the crazy. And does this witness know anything? This witness is like, I don't know, sometime in whenever. I mean, again, you should know your siblings slash stepchildren's age, like vaguely. You were there.
About, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you don't know a date, you estimate, but don't guess. We're in agreement there, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're doing your best with the dates?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you moved back this time, were the girls living with Nikki and just Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Where was your dad living?
Paul Drive.
Where did you move to?
Paul Drive.
So you lived with your dad?
Yes, sir.
Who else lived in the home?
Yoko and Yoshida.
Okay. Is Yoshida Yoko's partner, friend, boyfriend?
Yes, sir.
They're elderly folks.
Yes, sir.
When you lived with your dad, how was your relationship at that time?
It was fine. I worked with him.
You worked with him too?
Yes, sir.
Doing what?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
From moving houses to setting up backyards.
Moving houses, setting up backyards? Okay. So let me ask you kind of a general question before we move on. Is it fair for me to say that your dad was in and out of your life growing up?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a strong relationship with your dad as you're getting into your late teens, early 20s, or was it just kind of a, that's my dad and you don't see him too often, or what?
No, I love my father, so we have a strong relationship.
Okay. Did there come a point in time when you're living with him at Paladura and working that you guys have some disagreements about work and other stuff?
Yes, sir.
Would you consider your dad to have been a hard-headed person?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was he an opinionated guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever tell your dad that you had been having a sexual relationship with the father of his other children?
Mother.
The mother. Jeez, I said father. Yeah.
No, sir.
I apologize. Knowing your dad as you did, if he had known you were having a sexual relationship with his mother of his children, is he the type of guy that would have just said nothing and let it go?
I'm guessing no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you never tell him. I don't want to ask an obvious question, but why not?
I couldn't go with the courage to do it.
Okay. Eventually, do you move out of the Paladura?
Just 1 second, Mr. Dunn. You can't hear him? Okay. And I'm sorry, sir. Your voice is, thank you so much. Your voice is just really soft.
That's good. I'm glad. He's got a very low register and he's very quiet, so it is hard to hear him. So I'm glad someone else spoke up. Maybe he'll project more. Although I don't know, it would be hard to project when this is what you have to talk about. So I do feel for him a bit, but he did make all of these choices of his own free will, or free willy. Might have been the more apt appendage that he used to think about these things.
Sir, can you just say test for me?
Oh, test.
Can you hear him better now? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Giovanni.
Thank you, Judge. Oh. Oh.
Nobody can be held in contempt.
All right. I'm going to keep that one in the back pocket. So you eventually move out of Paladura.
Yes, sir.
Dad stays, Yoko and Yoshida stay.
Yes, sir.
Where do you move?
To 5510 Porcupine Rim Street.
Did you move in with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
And I've been saying Nikki. Did you know Nikki by several different names?
Tracy, Devine, and Nikki, those three.
Tracy, Devine, and Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Devine spelled Devin? Devyn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you, after moving out of Paladura and into Porcupine Rim, resume your sexual relationship with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Were your sisters living there, or was there some kind of custody arrangement? Or was that later?
That was later.
Okay. So when you first move into Porcupine Rim, can you give us a date, a year, an approximate year, anything like that? And if you need to use the date of your dad's death, August 7th, 2023, as a point of reference counting back.
Probably 2020.
Probably 2020?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. So you...
Yes, Porcupine Rim is one of the unfortunate things that are a part of this case. Could you imagine that we are living in the timeline where the alleged adult film star decapitator also lives on Porcupine Rim? It's almost like this case was tailor-made for me.
Can we agree that you live at Porcupine Rim at least a couple of years with Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during this time frame, I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. Did there come a point in time when the family court became involved in the custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Did Nikki lose custody of the children?
Yes, sir.
Was this before or after you married, if you remember?
After.
So after you married Nikki is when the custody thing happened.
Yes, sir.
Prior to that, were the girls living with you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim for however long you were living there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Dad, to your knowledge, is still living across town?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When Nikki lost custody of the children, did they move back in with your dad?
Yes, sir.
And to your knowledge, did they live out at the Paladura address?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how long they lived at Paladura with your dad?
No, sir.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the summer months, just before your father's death, that the girls moved back in with you guys, you and Nikki at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Did they stay over the summer?
Yes, sir.
Did they have bedrooms there?
Yes, sir.
And where were you sleeping at the time?
The master bedroom downstairs.
With Nikki?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were there times that you slept on the couch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did your sexual intimate relationship continue throughout the course of this time period?
Yes, sir.
I hate to air out your laundry, like I said, but I just have to ask it. When you're having this sexual relationship with Nikki, is it a tumultuous relationship?
I don't know the definition of that word.
Okay.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Tumultuous, tempestuous, stormy. Was it a rocky relate? Was it a dysfunctional relationship? Hell, was it a bad relation? Was she crazy? What word do... you're not understanding the definition of tumultuous is the least of your problems, sir.
Is there a lot of kind of arguing and back and forth, or you describe it for me?
The bitch was crazy.
There was arguing back and forth.
Were there times in which you yourself were trying to get out of this relationship?
Yes, sir.
Describe that. How many times, what's going on in your head at this time?
That when I was I tried to fill some shoes that I had no business filling.
Whose shoes?
My father's.
Okay.
And Dr. Bethany, we just get a little bit closer to you. It's okay.
So you believe you said that you were trying to fill some shoes that you had no business filling. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
As a result of that, did you start to get a little uncomfortable and attempt to leave a couple of times?
Yes, sir.
Did there ever come a point in time, and I want to be precise here, prior to you learning of your dad's death, that you learned he was going to move in to the Porcupine Rim address?
Prior, no, sir.
So you didn't know he was going to move in prior?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you learn that at some point after?
I learned after the death when my grandmother was telling me about it.
Okay. Did you talk to your grandma like on the 7th?
The day after, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to now bring you to August 6th, okay, 2023. On that day, were you living at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Were the girls living there?
Yes, sir.
Was Nikki living there?
Yes, sir.
Do you know or remember what you did during the day on August 6th?
I woke up and I went to work and I got a phone call from my grandfather saying that my dad was critically injured and
Okay, let me clarify here. I'm talking about the day before you were notified.
I went to work.
Okay, so you work on the 6th.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what Nikki and the girls were doing that day?
No, sir.
Did there come a point in time after you get home from, oh, and I should ask you, did you drive a work van?
Yes, sir.
Is that the white one that was parked in front of the home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's another vehicle out front of the home. Whose was that? Not the Nissan Armada, but the little sedan.
Oh, that was my vehicle, sir.
Was that operable at the time?
Yes, sir.
And did you drive it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The night of August 6th, you get home from work. Do you remember a point in time where you saw your dad at the Porcupine Rim address?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
So I just got off of work. I was helping with the girls with their homework, and I believe I went into the garage and I saw my father bringing over a bunk bed and a desk for the girls, and his back was turned to me, so I closed the garage door.
So you didn't talk to him?
No, sir.
How was your relationship at that point in time?
We hadn't talked for a while.
At some point prior to that, had he learned that you had actually married Nikki?
Yes, sir.
How was that conversation, or if you had a conversation about it?
He sent me a text message asking or saying, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not right. And I responded with half of what you know is true and the other half isn't.
Okay. So your dad clearly knew you were formally married.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the date you got married?
No, sir.
Did you ever get
Do you remember anything?
divorced?
No, sir.
Is that something you would like to do?
After this, yes.
Okay, once this trial is done?
Yes.
Okay. That night when you see your dad moving the girls' stuff into the garage, you don't talk?
No, sir.
Okay. What did you do after that? Did you just go back inside or what?
I went back inside and I continued watching the movie with the girls.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury kind of how the night progressed from there.
So I continued watching the girls, watching the movie with them, and Nikki had told me that she was going to go help John move some things, and I said okay. So I stayed at the house. We continued watching the movie, and I believe when the movie was over, I had put them down to bed, and I myself went to sleep.
Do you remember where you put them down to bed?
Yes, they had individual rooms upstairs. So I took him upstairs, I had him change into the pajamas, and then went to bed.
Okay. And then where would you have gone to sleep that night?
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
Do you remember texting Nikki saying something to that effect?
I remember texting her, letting her know that I had put the girls to sleep, and then I myself am going to sleep because I was working next day.
You had worked the next day?
Yes, sir.
What time did you typically work?
I believe it was 8 a.m. or 8:30.
Okay. So,
No, that's okay, Anne. This is a crazy case. So the woman on trial, Devin, the woman with the crazy hair, she is married, or she was, no, I think she currently still is married to this gentleman. Now, she previously had a relationship with this gentleman's father, had 2 children with him, 2 little girls, then decided to break it off with the father and marry Deviere. So it is already crazy. Now, Jonathan, the father, is who was found dead and decapitated in his home that he shared with his mother on August the 7th of 2023. So basically, she was going to take a plea deal, but then decided to try to blame Deviere because he installs Ring doorbell cameras and things like that. So he was able to bypass all the, surveillance, leave his phone at home and do this deed and, not get caught. Whereas Devin is shown, going to and from the house. So it is interesting.
I'm not going to show you a text message, but you remember sending a text message. Do you remember the time of that text message?
I believe it was 10 p.m.
Okay. And so, after the text message is sent, do you remember receiving a response from Nikki, or you just go to bed?
I just went to bed.
And if I didn't ask you, where did you go to sleep?
Downstairs in the master bedroom.
The normal place you sleep.
Yes, sir.
When you went to bed, was Nikki home?
No, sir.
That would be why you sent her the text, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember waking up at any point after falling asleep that night?
I remember waking up around 2 to her getting into bed, and since I had work early in the morning, I didn't ask anything of her. I just looked over, I saw her, and I went back to sleep.
This was, to you, a normal night, right? You would have no reason to ask her anything, right?
No, because if they were moving things around, if they were just working through the night to try to get it all done.
Okay. When you looked over, did you see anything out of sorts about her? I mean, I understand it was a normal night for you, but did you observe anything that was different?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you go back to sleep after that around 2?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when you woke up the next morning?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
Around 6 a.m.
Tell the jury how that morning progressed.
I woke up around 6 a.m. and I got ready for work. I'm usually the first one that's up, so I got dressed and I went to work.
Okay. Do you remember seeing Nikki or the girls or anything that morning after you woke up?
No, sir.
Okay. And do you remember where your job was that day by chance?
I worked at Hometronics, so I was all over the place in my cities.
Okay. And when you're working, do you drive the, work van?
Yes, sir.
When you're on your off days, do you drive the work van or the car?
The car.
Okay. So on this day, can we presume that you're driving the work van if you're doing a job?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I believe you said you work normally around 8:30.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, do you get a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Describe that for the jury.
It was a phone call from my grandfather saying that my father was critically injured and in the hospital.
Okay. Okay. When your grandfather tells you that, what do you do?
I proceeded to call my boss to take off work.
And did you learn a little more information from another family member after that?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
That he had passed away. And I didn't get any information on how he actually passed away. It was just that he passed.
Okay. So initially, the first call, critically injured, but you tell your work, hey, I got to go. You learn after that.
Thank you for becoming a member to the Church of Mo. We have dark chocolate sarcasm, and we do not allow, well, this kind of love quadrangle. Like, there are very few things that we are totally against because we're kind of like live, let live. But love quadrangles like this and recorders are, we're fundamentally against them in the Church of Mo.
That he's passed.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess where do you go from work?
Straight on.
What do you do when you go home?
Started drinking.
Okay. Did you drink back then?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember before you started drinking if the girls or Nikki were home when you arrived home?
No, sir.
You don't remember, or they were not?
They weren't home.
They were not home?
No.
Okay. On that date, August 7th, do you continue drinking after learning of your dad's death?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the next time you saw Nikki?
I don't. I drank myself to sleep for the next couple of days.
Okay.
And thank you, Wolfram, for being a great mod, and have a wonderful lunch. I will try to keep us under control.
So is it fair to say those couple days, after learning that on August 7th and maybe into the 8th, maybe the 9th, you're drinking pretty consistently?
Yes, sir.
Is it a bit of a blur for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At some point in time, do you remember police coming to the Porcupine Rim home?
Yes, sir.
And did they come inside and they do a full search and everything?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what day that was?
No, sir.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about items in your home. At the time you were working for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had the work truck.
Yes, sir.
I presume you had some tools.
Yes, sir.
Were there times in which you had saws and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
Do you normally carry a saw, or is that something you use for particular jobs, or how does that work?
I had a drywall saw inside my bag along with a screwdriver, a flathead, an electric drill, measuring tape, leveler.
Okay. Is there a safe inside your home, or was there back then?
Yes, sir.
What was that safe used for?
Guns.
Did you have guns?
Yes, sir.
How many do you have, or did you have back then?
3.
Are you you're allowed legally to possess guns, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the force multiplier question is the same question that I have for the, powered hacksaw or skill saw or whatever power tool was used for the decapitation. John was sleeping in a kind of makeshift bedroom with a fabric curtain over it. Now, I do understand that there are suppressors and, you can get the legal stamp and get a suppressor, but it's still not going to be whisper quiet. It's going to go from like an airplane takeoff to a jackhammer. It's not going to go to like the little whisper pew that Hollywood says. So now, Devin did confess to bludgeoning John over the head under the guise of giving him a massage and then cutting off his head. But then she quickly recanted that after she was, taken in and arrested. And now she's trying to do the Hail Mary that this guy did it. This man has been unable to make a single, clearly understood and audible declarative sentence let alone become a mastermind.
So you have 3 guns. Are they handguns?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember having them on August 7th, or was this general around that time frame?
We've owned the guns for a while.
Okay. Did your dad have guns too?
No, sir.
Okay. So you had guns, your dad didn't?
No, sir.
At least to your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Man, dumber things have happened and been true.
So try to give us any memory you have that you don't remember the next time you saw Nikki, but you did see Nikki back at the home, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember her being there when the police came?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at least when we can figure out from the police when they showed up, you know you saw her then.
Yes, sir.
When is it that you have any conversation with her about your dad's passing?
I believe it was the night that I found out, I was drinking heavily, and I believe she came home and said, I'm sorry that this happened, and I kind of just wanted to be alone.
Okay. You eventually, during the course of that search of your home, you're interviewed by police, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that was recorded.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, you give a lengthier interview, correct? An interview.
Oh, yes, sir.
And with that, you understand that was recorded as well.
Yes, sir.
You ultimately learn that Nikki is arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
When is it, if you remember, that you learn she's arrested for the murder of your dad?
I want to say a week afterwards, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. So somewhere in the range of a week or 2 weeks after the actual death.
Yes, sir.
In the interim, before she gets arrested and after your dad's death, do you remain at Porcupine Rim?
Yes, sir.
Do you question what happened to your dad?
Yes, sir.
Are there a lot of kind of unanswered questions you have during that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Did there come a point in time after her arrest that she contacted you from the detention center?
Yes, sir.
And Judge, we would move to admit 631, which is a recording of that contact.
Any objections?
No objection. Thank you.
631, are we in there?
Prison recording.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
What is confusing you? It's a chair, son. It's a chair.
Call from. An incarcerated individual has entered the detention center. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What in the cursed audio hell? What in the Verizon can you hear me now is this audio? When I am president, my first thing will be that we will stock good audio recorders in everywhere that that anywhere that something might go into trial, we are getting better audio.
They won't tell me anything. There's something about you, and they're not very pleasant. I was told they're holding me here while they look for evidence. Because they don't have any evidence.
Yes, often you're put into prison when they don't have any evidence. Yes, they're both cosplaying as Bane. At this point, I guess the jury is able to understand because the closed captions are of no help.
They have no murder weapon, no motive, no nothing. They're holding me here to find it. Somebody should have restarted. What? You sound like you should have been restarted. I haven't gone to court yet. I go to court tomorrow. Okay, well, I'm not doing this out for you. Okay. CBS at the girls. With my grandfather. Are you taking fingerprints so they can go with him and mine go with you right here?
Who is writing loudly?
So will you get released tomorrow? I should. That's what I'm hoping for. And that's literally what's going on. I have what's going on.
I know we're all shocked, but she didn't get released in the morning because, you know, they had all the evidence of her being the only person there and all of her angry, mad, girl writing, along with her being the only other person in the house.
Yes, they have absolutely nothing on me. They showed me a picture of a bottle of soft scrub cleaning detergent, and they said, you have one in your house. And I'm like, okay. They're like, well, this was used at his house. Like, you're fucking joking, right? Like, that's literally what they showed me. If you're getting released tomorrow, I'll leave it over. So, I get released if you go to California. I'm very funny on it, because I'm supposed to believe all these articles about you, says you're not leaving. Oh, what about? And all of these articles about you, what happened. News article? Yes.
How is she understanding him? Is anyone understanding the male part of this phone call? Because all I'm hearing is want, and then some words. No, he just has a very low register and they are playing it on really crappy speakers. So it's very hard. And he doesn't enunciate. So it's really hard to kind of distinguish his words. So this is, I mean, I guess the jury got some of this. And we are in a locality where the jury can ask questions. Now, the defense's entire case is that Devier did it, so I expect to see fireworks on cross.
until you get released. I still don't know what to believe. I'm sorry. But, yes, I'm going to have one. And if you are getting released tomorrow, I'll leave it open. If not, then I have to do something with them. I'm always on the ready to get close to those.
You just started taking with these news articles about the and how literally nothing.
The one was so bad and points that you did. The second one was very graphic and still points that you did. Like I said, if you go in court and release you, I still don't know what to believe and I can't be here.
I do find it interesting that Devin, this, mother who is going out of her way to try to build this great family throuple polycule, together for her daughters, didn't say one thing about her daughters. Now, what I was sort of able to understand is that he was going to relinquish custody of his stepdaughters slash sisters to grandparents and other people. And howdy, howdy, Hilltop. Welcome. We are in the Devin Mitchell's, Nevada versus Devin Mitchell's, the beheaded boyfriend trial. Devin's husband, I guess soon to be ex, hopefully, dude, get this taken care of. And the son of the decedent is on the stand right now. I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. But there did seem to be a lot of what the hell is going on in this case. So, yeah, if you are not aware, Devin Michaels is a former adult star who had a relationship with John Willett, having 2 children with him, and then decided to end that relationship with John and get together with Deviere, marrying him. Now, Deviere has the strange, family relation to be John's younger son. So Deviere became not only the stepfather to his half-siblings, but I guess he's still his half-sibling's brother. Yeah, this is all the crazy. Just all the crazy, all of the nuts, and a beheading.
Deviere, you mentioned a couple of news articles there.
Yes, sir.
When was it that you first learned of the graphic nature of what happened to your dad after his death?
I believe it was a day prior to the phone call that I was sent an article from the Las Vegas News explaining what happened to my father and that she was involved.
Okay. At the end of that phone call, somebody hung up. Who did that?
She did.
When you were telling her, I'm leaving to California, I'll leave the dog, did you already plan when all this kind of madness started to break it off?
Yes, sir.
Was that essentially what the jury just heard, your breakup conversation?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if you ever talked again after that?
We never talked to him after that.
Look at me. Did you kill your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in killing your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in what happened to his body after?
No, sir.
Pass witness.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a moment of cross-examination. We're going to take a brief recess before we get cross-examination of this witness. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text.
All right, let's get to the defense tearing apart Deviere. Now, whether he's going to be as, talkative and understandable as, he was with the state.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's go back. Now, I will say this defense attorney, for some reason, does tend to be a bit of an ass, does tend to come out with douchebag energy. So it will be interesting to see how he, tries to cross Deviere when the defense's entire case is that Deviere did this. Deviere, by, the fact that he has, the installation of Ring doorbells or whatever they are, he was able to avoid all the Ring doorbells and do this to his dad and hide it all. Now, this man doesn't, oh, for the love of Cheetos, seem to have had a declarative thought in his head, for...
Correct?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Mr. Blunt, my name is Robert Draskovich. My partner, Mike Horvath, and I represent your wife. You and I have never spoken, have we?
Ew.
No, sir.
You've never spoken with my investigator, Ken Hardy, have you?
Hmm?
Investigator?
No, sir.
No. So this is the first time that we're actually having an opportunity to communicate, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, at this point, I'd be like, are you screwing her too? I'm just trying to get a body count on this chick. I mean, quite literally, both sexually and homicidally. So if you could help me out, because I have to do a lot of testing.
I'm sorry, sir, if you just get a little closer to that microphone. Thank you.
You had testified today, fair to say, for the first time, that you had a relationship with your wife that went years back.
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that by a lot of people, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd been asked that before under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't tell the truth, did you? Sir, you were given copies of your prior statements in preparation for your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were. You're a smart man, aren't you?
No, sir.
Facts not in evidence. I mean, I haven't seen him do Sudoku. He didn't know what tempestuous, or no, I'm sorry, tumultuous was. I mean, again, facts not in evidence.
And you reviewed those copies of your statements and your testimony, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you wanted to be prepared for today, correct? I see.
Speak up on the phone.
You had testified today that you learned of your father's death for the first time about 1 o'clock on August 7th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd said, I believe it was your grandfather?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were interviewed by police just shortly after that, correct?
No, sir.
You were interviewed at 2:35 p.m. August 7th by Detective Ozawa.
Yes, sir.
He came to ask about you, your wife, stuff what was going on in the house and at the other house, correct? The Paladera house.
Yes, sir.
He asked you how you got along with your father, and you told him we never really got along, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's a little bit different than what you testified to today, correct?
No, sir.
It's the same, or it's different?
It's the same. I worked with my father.
I'm sorry, and this low voice, you can speak up, please.
I worked with my father, so we bumped heads on a lot of things, but it doesn't mean that I didn't love my father.
Okay, but the question is, how do you guys get along? And your answer is, we never really got along, correct?
Only overwork.
I'm sorry, sir, you have to speak up.
Only overwork.
Only overwork.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was just a few seconds after that that you said that you knew he was going to move in there, correct? And you didn't want to talk to him when he was at the house.
No, sir.
On August 6th. You don't recall telling the detective that? I mean, you have this transcript that I'm going to start referring to. You referred to it and you reviewed it before and to prepare for today's testimony, correct?
Yes, sir. I was told shortly after his death that he was going to be in. Then I had no prior to that.
Counsel, I'm referring to page 4.
And I get that the defense wants to, use his prior statements to impeach him. The problem with using those prior statements is he's already admitted he was basically blackout drunk for 3 days, that he went home directly after finding out that his father had passed and started drinking. So any discrepancies, the jury could take into account that he said he was drinking, and it might not be the actual smoking gun or red herring that they're making it out to be. Oh.
I'm sorry, I'll start on page 3. I did see him here when he was unloading everything into the garage, but I just didn't speak to him. You're asked, okay, is that you guys just don't get along or just... And then you stated, we never really did. And the detective says, okay. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you say, so not to cause any complications here, because I know he was going to move in here, I just didn't want to talk to him.
That was after the death.
But you're talking about, you saw him the day before, he's moving stuff in, and you're not going to talk to him because you know he's going to move in, and you guys don't get along. You were talking to the detective about what was going on in your head the day before, correct?
No, sir. I was told that.
This witness is going to be able to out-stupid this defense attorney. This witness will be able to not understand or willfully just ignore this defense's questions, and I wonder if this defense attorney is going to lose his mind. I hope that there was a doctor or someone there to check the blood pressure of the defense attorney, because I can already tell that this witness is employing that, I don't know, I didn't see it, that thing that drives you nuts when you're a parent, like you never get a straight answer. This man is going to be able to do it.
They were moving the desk and bunk bed into the house for the girls.
So when you're telling the detective on August 6th, I didn't go and talk to him because I never really got along with him. And I didn't want to cause any complications here because I know he was going to move in here. I just didn't want to talk to him. You're now under oath saying that meant something else?
No, sir. I'm answering the question. I was told after my father's death that he was going to move into the house, but I had no idea prior to that.
That's because you read your grand jury testimony, correct?
No, sir.
A little bit further down, same page. He wasn't really there for me, correct? I mean, you had resentment for your father. Fair to say?
No, sir.
And then kind of realized who he was as a person. And when you were talking about moving out of Yoko's house, you said, I got out as soon as I could, correct?
Yes, sir.
Page 5, you're asked, and then I guess, so your mom tells us that he was going to move in here. What's that arrangement? And you said she was going to tell me to move out, or she was going to give me some time, but he needed to get out of Yoko's house, and she was going to let him stay here, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you were going to move out, and you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're telling the detective who you speak to for the first time that you knew that Dad was pushing you out and that you were moving out of the house, correct?
I was told that the day before.
Oh, so now, you said before, until after your death, now you're agreeing you knew at least the day before that your dad was pushing you out of the house, correct?
No, I'm talking about the interview. So when I had the interview with Ozawa, that's when I found out everything prior to the interview.
But you're talking about not talking to him the day before because you know you don't want problems and you know that he's moving in.
He's moving stuff in.
Page
How long is
6.
this battle of the wills gonna go?
So we don't get along. So she was giving me the heads up so I can move out. Correct?
No, sir.
You're saying no? And I won't misread anything. I mean, these are your words.
Can you repeat it?
So we don't get along. This is like the third time you're saying this. So she was going to give me that heads up so I can move out.
Yes, sir.
And then the detective asks, and this is the second thing about your marriage. He asks you about your marriage, correct? And you say, yeah, we're married.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And you tell the police officer that we're certified, but it's not like we're really. Because she has a whole bunch of health problems, all that stuff. Remember that conversation you had with the detective?
Yes, sir.
So he asked you, so it's just like worked out for like insurance, you're saying? And you say, well, not like anything bad, but like for the girls, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it?
I mean,
Which you were telling the detective after you're saying that you learned for the first time that your dad's been murdered. What you told him about your marriage wasn't true, was it?
I was also drinking that day. I don't remember.
You've read through this transcript. You agree with me that you appear to be pretty coherent, correct?
No, sir.
I mean, a lot of drunks I know tend to
And
become
you'd agree with
more
me that
talkative.
Detective Osaka was kind of confused, and he's saying, well, wait a minute. She had kids with him, but you're his son, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh no, we're all confused.
And it is clear Yoko didn't know, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, there's a Yoko in this trial.
Page 7, detective asks again, trying to clarify this relationship and what's really going on. So he asks you, so I didn't know, but you're saying that you guys are married more out of convenience, not like you guys actually love each other. And you respond, yeah, we don't. It's not like that. It's out of convenience. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
No, sir.
Well, convenience can mean
So
screwing.
you're telling us that you were telling this detective the truth.
It was convenient. He was there for the insurance, and she was there to, take care of like 15 minutes every couple weeks. Convenience can mean a lot of things.
Truth?
Yes, sir.
Then the detective asks you, but do you guys sleep in the same room? And you say no, correct?
Yes, sir.
You guys actually did sleep in the same room. You slept in the same bed, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But when he asked if you two slept in the same room, you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then he asks you, are you guys intimate at all? And you say no, correct?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't true, was it?
No, sir.
I mean, bless his heart, it's bad enough when you sleep with your father's ex, who's also the mother of your two half-sisters. I mean, that's embarrassing enough. But then to have to be on national TV and go through the, hilariously, the ins and outs of your relationship, I can only imagine that I might tell some untruths to hide and bury the hell out of that story.
Fair to say that you were downplaying your feelings for your wife when this detective came to ask you about the murder of your father?
As you do.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what actually happened to my father.
Please say it again.
Yes, sir, because I didn't actually know what happened to my father.
Okay. But you're lying to the police officer about your relationship with your wife, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, the detective, page 8. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in, and she told you that you were going to have to move out. And your response recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah. And I mean, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it. That's what you said to the detective, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective follows up. Okay, and that's you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here, or didn't know that you lived here? And you respond, no, he knows I live here, correct?
My father?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
That lived in Vegas?
No, that lived in that house. The detective asked him, does he know that you live here? And you say, yeah, he knows I live here, correct?
Yes, sir.
You did confirm that you knew that she was going over there to your dad's house with the girls, correct?
Yes, sir, that was the joint custody that they had.
Yeah. And the detective, confirming that you know that he's moving in and that you're going out, asks, why was he moving out of the other house? And you said, because they all they do is scream and yell. When I was over there, my grandma would go downstairs at 6 in the morning yelling at him for the car payment, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also say, I think my grandma was kicking him out, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's true. And trust me, I'm not going to tell you anything you didn't say, okay? I'm not trying to trick you. You're asked, page 10 by Detective Ozawa, bottom of the page. Okay, so then, how long has, I guess, it been planned for them to move John in over here? Your response, I have no idea. Like, it was ran by me that, because we all know how he is. And it's like, okay, if he's moving in here, and if he's going to be homeless, I get it. I can move out and go somewhere, because I have a legitimate job, correct?
I mean, yeah, this sounds like he was totally planning stuff. This articulate poet laureate of our day, this mastermind person. Are you kidding me? Defense, why didn't you look at your client and tell her, take the damn plea deal? Take it.
Yes, sir.
So this isn't some one-off. You repeatedly confirmed to Detective Ozawa that your dad was moving in and that you were moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you had the legitimate job, correct?
We both had legitimate jobs.
You had a good job.
His job is better than mine.
He was a mover, part-time, correct?
He did everything.
Your grandmother was always angry at him because she owed him money, fair?
Fair.
But you had a steady job at Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you had the good legitimate job that you were the one getting kicked out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you go on to state that you're a technician for Hometronics, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you do security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you install entertainment systems.
Yes, sir.
You told the officer that you'd been doing that for about 2.5 years. Fair?
Yes, sir.
Where
You
we
were
going
asked
with
again
this?
by Detective Ozai, well, since you knew you were moving out, where are you gonna move into, where are you gonna move to? And you tell him, and this is page 12, counsel, yeah, like, I have some friends down the street that I could roommate with, correct?
Yes, sir.
That made you angry, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've been in this house with your wife, your dad's moving in, and you have to leave. You're telling us that didn't make you angry?
No, sir.
Have you seen his wife? He was looking for any excuse to hoof it to Guam, all right? Change his name, straighten his hair. I mean,
Now, today you testified that you'd worked the day before, August 6th, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you were actually off the day before, correct? You didn't work on August 6th.
I was drinking a lot. I don't remember.
But you would first tell the police officer, yeah, I worked yesterday, but then,
Sir, I'm have to have you to speak up. The jury's having a hard time.
Sorry about that.
Is that better?
if you could just please repeat your answer. Trust me, I'm not trying. If you could speak up, please, and just repeat that last answer.
I was drinking a lot and I don't remember.
But you actually made the same mistake and initially told him I was working yesterday, but then you corrected yourself, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you really weren't drinking that much. Because you at first said, well, I worked yesterday, and then you said, oh, actually, you know what? It was my day off.
wait a minute. Do drunk people sometimes remember certain facts? Oh my goodness. Let's let them drive. If they can get, 1/3 of Pictionary guesses right, why don't we just let them drive? What argument are we making?
Correct? Sundays. Sundays are your days off.
That was 10 years ago and I was drinking very heavily for my father's death. So I don't.
Okay. But sir, this conversation occurred August 7th, 2023. All right?
Sorry.
Or, I mean, you do... Fair to say, it hasn't been that long, has it?
Not 10 years.
In reference to the day before, August 6th, and you seeing them moving in, okay, because you actually didn't work the day before. You said, I heard the door open. I thought one of the girls opened the door, so I came down and looked out and saw him unloading stuff. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. So I closed the door, just didn't hear it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And at this point in time, you tell the detective that you actually don't have a room in the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
But that wasn't true. I mean, you were sleeping with your wife in the same bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who's better next time?
You said that your guy's a hot-tempered guy, correct?
That's who is?
His father.
Okay, you said your guy.
Yeah. You said he's like a hot-tempered guy, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said he had no filter, that kind of a guy.
Yes, sir.
You were asked, okay, so when you left Yoko's house, and that was a couple of years before, correct?
Yes, sir.
How often do you talk to him? And your answer was not at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the detective says, oh, and you say nothing. I mean, you say nothing, correct? Meaning you guys don't talk.
Again,
After he found out that we were married, we didn't talk after that.
Detective asks you, he didn't call you or nothing, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
No text, nothing like that, and you said no, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it seems kind of normal if you find out that your son is dating and married to your ex who is now fighting you for custody of his half siblings, your children. Yeah, I can see how that would make Thanksgiving really awkward.
The detective then asks you about you speaking with him a couple of months ago, and what did that entail? Like, what were you guys doing at that point? You correct him and say, I didn't say I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, I thought you said the last time you spoke with, like actually talked to him, was a couple of months ago. And you say, well, like it was probably years, correct?
Yes, sir.
You say, he doesn't call me on my birthday, not on Happy New Year's, like none of that. So not Thanksgiving, so we just didn't talk, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you're asked by the detective, counsel is on page 18, is there anything you can think of that you haven't told me that you think might be important for us to know? And you say, correct?
Yes, sir.
Guilty.
So they're there trying to figure out this dynamic, and you've lied to them about the relationship that you have with your wife, and you've lied to them about the living arrangement where you're getting kicked out by your father, correct? He's moving you out.
Yes, sir, because I didn't know what exactly had happened.
You did say that it was kind of a shit show at the other house, correct?
Yes, sir.
Checks out. Seems right. Any more papers you could
That
fumble
wasn't
with?
the first time that you had discussed issues concerning this dynamic, correct? Concerning your wife, you, your father, the moving arrangements, correct?
To my knowledge, sir.
You were interviewed another time, correct? By another officer. And you reviewed that in preparation, the transcript, in preparation for your testimony today.
Yes, sir.
That interview occurred September 12th, 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the incident happened on August the 7th of 2023. So this is probably going to be a more objective interview where everything has really settled in and possibly he's not drunk.
This detective now, after speaking to you, and it's a little bit into the interview, tells you, well, you know, you weren't the main suspect. You know what I mean? This is, meaning the situation is a little different than hers. We're here to, you didn't do it, to clear you, correct? You recall that
When was this
conversation?
again?
I'm sorry?
When did this conversation happen again?
September 12th, 2023.
Yes, sir.
Remember that? I mean, you're there being interviewed concerning being a potential suspect, and you remember the date, correct?
No,
Yes, sir.
this man doesn't remember anything.
And you're being told now that we're working to clear you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were relieved, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
The detective asks you, does that make sense? And you say it does, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the detective says, and while the chances of you even being there are so slim that it's just, there's, that's not even on the radar, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you had told law enforcement that you weren't close to Devin. You didn't really have a real marriage. And things aren't that bad with your dad, and you're basically being told, hey, it's good. You're good, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you're left there sitting for a little while, and the room's being recorded, and you say this is going to be a fucking Netflix series, correct?
Or a Mo Puppet Theater show. Puppet Theater After Dark with Mo.
I don't remember
I told you that you said that. Would you have any reason to disagree with me?
that. I'm just letting you know I don't remember.
Okay.
Sir, you can just keep it going.
Oh, sorry.
And before I forget, and I'm sorry for going back, but there was some discussion with Detective Ozawa about the problem the morning, August 7th, about your wife trying to register the girls. Your dad was supposed to have registered them, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's because they were moving into the house and the girls were starting at that school, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's again a confirmation that you knew. You knew that they were moving into the house. Correct?
Girls.
Yes, sir.
You testified before a grand jury, a little different room, but you were put under oath and you were called as a witness on September 14th, just a couple days after that last interview, correct?
Yes, sir.
And under oath, you testified like you did initially today that you were unaware that your father was moving into the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that it was something that you had learned after your father's death, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that there were no discussions about you potentially moving out, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, that's exactly what you said, no, sir. There was never a discussion and you said, no, sir, but there was. There were multiple discussions, correct?
So that I can remember this.
You were asked, were you estranged from your father? And you said, we didn't get along, correct?
Only while working, sir, yes.
I'm sorry?
Only while we worked here.
So you're still saying you guys got along just fine, but it was just work related?
Anytime I was with him, I had a good time.
I see. But you guys don't text, you don't call, correct?
Not after he found out I was married.
While the defense is making all of this that Devier knew about the moving, the bottom line is that there was nothing circumstantial, DNA, anything, cell phone, eyewitness. Yoko was able to place Devin there at or around the time that Jonathan was murdered. Devier didn't go to Yoko's house. So there isn't anything that ties Devier to this crime scene. As much as they are trying to show that there are motives and possible reasons for Devier and his father to not like each other, there was nothing linking him. That's why the police stopped looking at him, because they found the bags with all the wallet and the keys. That had Devin's DNA on it. All of the, journal notebooks of insanity were all of Devin's stuff against John and Devier. So there isn't anything to link him to the crime scene. It does seem like she could have done this alone. Again, if she has already bludgeoned and unalived him, then the moving of the body and the decapitation wouldn't be that difficult. The part that I'm still having a hard time understanding is how you didn't hear the power tool going to assist with the decapitation. But I do think she could have done it by herself. If he was already passed away or dead when she did it, then I think she could have done it by herself.
Today, now that she's on trial, you testified that you woke up at 2 o'clock on the morning of the 7th and she was in bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
But when you testified to the grand jury, you testified that you never woke up at all, correct? I'm referring to page 17, 18.
Yes, sir.
So your testimony is different again today on that point, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because obviously you waking up is kind of a big deal, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you were actually awake at 2 a.m. on the 7th, weren't you?
I woke up to her getting in bed, and I looked over at her and saw that she got in bed, and I rolled back over and went to sleep.
You had been calling her that night from the home phone, correct? Well, she's with your dad.
We don't have a home phone.
Testimony is that you don't have a home phone. All right. So it's your testimony that you didn't call over and over again?
I believe I sent a text and she didn't reply, and then that's when I put the girls to sleep and I went to sleep myself.
But that wasn't the only night that she was out with your dad. She was with your dad till like 1 a.m. the night before, correct?
Possibly moving things, yes.
So 2 nights in a row, she's with your dad and she's not home, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, through the course of your grand jury testimony, you are asked by a grand juror, because unlike this, I mean, grand jurors can ask you questions, correct? I mean, that was your understanding. They spoke to you.
Yes, sir.
You were asked how long you and Devin had been married, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you answered 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And then there's some follow-up questions. Just like to ask you a couple more questions about that. Did you and Devin... I'm sorry, page 35.
Thank you.
Did you and Devin get married in the traditional sense? And you answered, yes, it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. So I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there. She also had a whole...
You could have not gotten married and just babysat your half-siblings. I know this is a crazy thought, but no marriage needed to take place.
whole bunch of medical problems, and it was very expensive to keep the girls at daycare, and she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. And then there's a question, okay, and I'm sorry to ask, was an intimate relationship that you were in with Devin at some point? And your testimony under oath to this grand jury on this day was, yes, after the first year it started to get intimate, correct?
Yes, sir.
After the first year of marriage, it started to get intimate, correct?
Objection, it does not say that.
context of the question, I've read it. It speaks for itself.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the jury can determine what the context is, you just need to read it verbatim. So that objection will be sustained.
And if I may just read then for the record, I mean, this is prior testimony.
This is from the grand jury.
Correct.
What page are you on?
Page 35, I'll start at line 15, page 35, by juror. How long have you and Devin been married? Answer, 3 years. Question. If I could ask you just a couple more questions about that, did you and Devin get married in the traditional sense? Yes. Answer. But it was more of me helping out with the girls when she couldn't find a babysitter. So I figured, well, we both kind of sat and talked about it. When she has to go to work and can't find a babysitter, I could be there. She also had a whole bunch of medical problems, and it's very expensive to keep the girls at a daycare when she's sitting in the hospital, so I would normally be there to watch them. Question, okay, and I'm sorry to ask, was it an intimate relationship that you were in with Devin at some point? Yes. After the first year, it started to get intimate. Next question, did it remain intimate up until the time of your father's death? Yes. You're getting closer to the truth of the nature of your relationship the farther it is that you get away from perhaps being charged with his murder. Fair to say?
Can you repeat the question?
You're getting more and more truthful concerning the nature of your relationship with Devin the further it gets away from your having been charged or being charged. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
This man doesn't understand what you're asking. And again, this is for the jury to take in. Do I take anything this man says at face value? No, it seems like a lot of his questions were answered in a way that would keep as little attention on the nature of his very unconventional relationship and family dynamic away. So, yeah, as a juror, am I taking a lot of what he says, with a grain of salt? Yeah. But do I understand that one might be motivated to hide the Jerry Springer, crisscross drama from coming out about their family? Yeah. Are you going to get away with, the weird quadrangle you have going on? No. But I can see how someone would lie about that.
You testified today that you didn't remember the date that you married her, correct?
I mean, to be fair, Mr. Moe and I are lucky that our middle feral son was actually born on our wedding anniversary, so we always remember it. That, and it's so sweet. Middlemost feral was like, if you guys want to wait to celebrate my birthday so you guys can go out and have a date, it's okay. I was like, sweetie, it's okay. We like celebrating your birthday, and cake is cake. But this year he came up to me and he's like, if you want to celebrate my birthday late, you can have a date tonight instead. And it was like, sweetie, no. We're at that stage in marriage where we'll go out when you guys are at school. Have a nice lunch.
Your testimony that you don't remember marrying her on December 21st, 2021?
No, sir.
Are these in stipulated? Thank you. There'll be exhibit numbers, but I'm going to show you some pictures, okay? And these were taken from your phone. From his phone.
Can we just, are those stipulated to?
Yeah, we have no objection. We just want a copy because
Absolutely.
we've just seen them, but
Okay.
I think we do for,
Objecting to this side?
correct. I think,
Okay, well, let's just make the record.
Yeah.
Where are the?
Yes, they put them on. This is L3. It's been marked by your clerk. He was ahead of me, so thank you.
Right, but I didn't see you, tell me what it is, so we can put it on the record.
Is anyone in this court
Okay.
paying attention?
L3.
It's L3?
Yeah, is that L3? Okay.
Okay, so L3, well, Mr. Drexel, what's it, if the whole packet's being stipulated to, let's just admit the packet now, and then you
Okay.
can show any ones you want.
Okay.
So L3 to what?
Hang on just a second.
What in the Kraft macaroni and cheese? Can anyone have anything figured out? Oh,
A3 to S3.
Okay, A3 to S3 is a medical stipulation that prevention published in law.
And in the interest of time, and since these will go back, I'm not going to go through each and every one of them.
I don't think so.
oh my God! Stop shuffling papers.
We could please,
What?
right here?
Yeah.
Remember that date?
I remember the day.
Okay. But you do remember marrying her, correct?
Yes, sir.
Remember this?
Yes, sir.
So what exhibit was that? Mr.
This is exhibit K3. And we're going to be showing you L3. Remember this?
Yes, sir.
Something fair to say, you and she had a traditional marriage, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
As traditional as one can when one is marrying their father's ex and the mother of their step sibling or half siblings. Again, traditional is stretching the meaning of that word to the point of possibly breaking the elastic. Also, her wearing white is a bit of
I mean,
a
obviously it
stretch.
was a fairly passionate relationship, wasn't it?
It got weird, yeah.
I mean, for good and bad, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, she had sent you a text just days before this case began about get out of the house. Do you recall that? Get your stuff. Don't think of coming back. I want a divorce.
I don't remember anything like that.
She's crazy all the time, sir. I don't remember all the crazy. Nothing compares to her cutting my father's head off.
And you're still married to her, correct?
Yes, sir.
After things went down in this case, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
Through the course of your marriage to her, you wore a wedding ring, didn't you?
In my time in Vegas, yeah.
And she wore a wedding ring too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was a symbol of the commitment that you had to each other, correct? Rings are.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been admitted, Defense Exhibit B3. That was the ring that she wore, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, please tell me it's going to be something gaudy and ridiculous. Oh, we don't get to see a picture of the ring?
You worked at Hometronics and you had tools, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were good at installing home security systems, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had hundreds of pictures on your phone of various systems that you installed, correct?
Yes, sir. After I was done with the job, I had to upload it to the Hometronics website to prove that I got the job done.
And Your Honor, this is Defense exhibit, it's like B1 through V2. We're moving through the admission. These are just images of security systems.
B1 through B2.
I'm sorry,
B1 through
B1 through
V2.
V2.
Oh, no objection.
Okay, B1 through V2 will be a minute.
And in going through these security systems, you obviously were conscientious of the angles, correct?
I would always ask how we set the camera up, and I would ask the customer to pull it on their phone to let me know what angle they would like it to be.
So you're familiar with security cameras and what they picked up and what they didn't.
Yes, sir.
And there's going to be a
Wait a minute. Is this somba bitch responsible for why we can't find Bigfoot? Is he also hiding the jackalope? You son of a bitch, Derriere. We found you. You will give us the whereabouts of Bigfoot and Elvis now. Okay, yeah, so he works at Hometronics and puts in security systems. Then he takes a picture of said security system because he'd like to get paid. Again, this man doesn't seem like a mastermind of anything. The fact that he doesn't have to be told to take an inhale and then exhale at a regular basis is amazing to me. This man is not a mastermind. This is not Megamind.
stack of these, but I'll just show you just for like Defense Exhibit
no
K2.
Kaiser Sose.
Well, you've got one right here. You can see that, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what type of camera that is, correct?
A ring camera?
All right. Showing you Defense Exhibit D2. You got the ladder up on this. This is an exterior camera. You installed that one, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what kind of camera that is, correct?
That's also a ring camera.
I mean, you were good at what you did, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the defense is positing of this case is that Deviere, yes, this gentleman who couldn't even remember the date and year, even with photographic evidence of when he married his wife. This man had an eidetic photographic memory of every single placement of every single ring camera on the approximately 30-minute ride to, and from Porcupine Rim to his father's house, avoided all the cameras, unalived his dad, and then set up Devin for it.
And installing the home entertainment systems, I mean, you use a Sawzall. You cut through 2x4s, you cut through drywall, things like that, correct?
Not 2x4s, it was just drywall.
Okay. But you had tools, you had saws, you had electric powered saws, correct?
No, just a drywall saw. That was another
Okay.
for doing in-wall kits for TVs.
All right.
Yeah, so,
And it's your testimony.
and I know this, a drywall saw is not a big, it's a little small, it looks like a baby, saw, so that's what I call it. I'm like, oh, it's the dinky, it's the, if you had the mama saw and the baby saw, it's the baby one. Even I know that. And I am not allowed to touch Mr. Moe's power tools because can you imagine the devastation I would wreak with that? Also, I tend to try to hang things up with thumbtacks, so I'm not allowed to hang things up either. But that's a whole other story.
Mr. Giordani asked you, it's your testimony that you didn't kill your father, is that correct?
I did not kill my father.
You left your home that night, didn't you?
Objection, what night?
The night of the 7th, early morning hours of August 7th, correct?
2023?
2023.
To go to work?
No, you left the house in the dark at 2 a.m., correct?
No, sir.
You'd been on your phone. You were looking at pictures of you and Devin, correct?
I don't remember.
You left that home. You went to the Palo Verde residence, didn't you? The Palo Verde residence.
No, sir. If you're talking about the night that my father was murdered,
Yeah.
it was home with the girls. We watched a movie. I put them to sleep. I received a text her letting her know that I put them to sleep, and I went to sleep myself.
And that's your testimony under oath, correct?
Yes, sir.
Like the testimony under oath that you've given to the grand jury previously, correct?
Yes, sir.
You'll agree with me that you'll lie under oath if it fits you.
No, sir. I became a very big alcoholic after that.
Okay.
So it's a little fuzzy. But I will answer truthfully to what I do.
But you'd agree with me that you were an alcoholic before that day and you had a drinking problem, correct? Before August 7th, 2023.
Yes.
In fact, it became a really big point of contention between you and your wife, correct?
Yes.
The actions, correct? Things that you do, correct? She'd send you texts. I mean, she'd get angry about that, correct?
Yes, sir.
She'd tell you that you were turning into your father. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Which is why she should bring the father in. None of this makes sense. And look, I'm glad if he's turned his life around and, you know, battled his addiction, I'm glad for him. But the defense needs to come at me with more than you were angry. Again, if they've got phone information that he was up, he left the house, if they've got any other corroborating information, but just asking bro doesn't know anything, you know, about certain things. Yeah, he lied. I'm sure the jury's going to take that into account and did, and still found Devin guilty. So, nice try, defense.
And you resented that part of your father, didn't you? Because he did the same thing, correct?
No, sir.
And you'd agree with me that when you drink, you do things that you wish you didn't, correct?
Other than maybe throw up, no, sir.
It affected your judgment, didn't it?
No, sir.
Affects your memory, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions for you. Thank you.
Can you read the rest of it?
Yes. Bear with me, Devier, I just got a few more questions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I want to clarify a couple of things. So, Mr. Draskovich started his questioning by asking you if you'd ever talked to him or his investigator or anything like that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Since
Yes, the witness is the stepson husband. I guess as of the time of this trial, they were still legally married. Hopefully he has divorced her ass at this point. Sir, you will have no clearer time to get rid of this woman legally from, you know, being linked to your name. But yes, the defense tried their best to discredit him. A lot of what, and it was shown that he lied. But a lot of what it seemed like he was lying about was the true nature of his marriage, which I guess if you are married to the mother of your half-siblings, you might not want to really come out and bring that to everyone's full attention.
after that jail call we heard, you moved to California, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've maintained a job out there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Living a normal, or I guess relatively normal life.
Yes, sir.
You traveled here after we contacted you and said this trial's coming up and we need you to testify as a witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
You came here willingly.
Yes, sir.
You didn't make me go arrest you to bring you here, correct?
No, sir.
We flew you out and you came and you brought your girlfriend for support. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And your girlfriend's the young lady sitting in the back of the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Is it easy for you to talk about your personal sexual life in front of all these strangers and that big old camera right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me tell the jury. Was this a dynamic, untraditional relationship?
At first, it was just to help with my sisters, and things got a little weird, so in the beginning, no, and then at the end, yes.
Okay, and I'm not just talking about the marriage. I'm talking about since you were a 19-year-old kid having sex with your father's ex, or I guess living girlfriend at the time. You would agree that's not traditional?
Absolutely not. Yes.
You would agree that's not traditional.
Yes, sir.
You would agree that, you know, it's not the best look to do what you did.
Yes, sir.
Are you embarrassed of that?
Yes, sir.
But it happened, and you're acknowledging that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that sexual relationship went on for an extended period of time.
Yes, sir.
Without going through all these exhibits, you would acknowledge and you understand that the detectives took your phone and took a whole bunch of other phones, correct?
Yes, sir.
And before you even took the stand in front of these people today, you know that we, all these lawyers, have access to your most personal, intimate conversations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you doing your best to recall 2 years ago, back to 8 years ago, in front of this jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you say, sitting on the stand today, you say, I believe I worked on August 6th. Is that what you believe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Draskevich made a big point of this, and I want to address it real quickly. Page 13 of the voluntary statement of counsel. This is about working the day before. Actually, it's bottom of page 12. The detective asks you, okay, is that what time you got off? And I'm going to be exactly precise with the words from this transcript, okay?
Yes, sir.
You respond, sometimes a little earlier. The detective asks, is that what time you got off yesterday? You respond, I got off yesterday at about, wait now, today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday, right? And the detective responds, yeah. Then you respond, yeah, I didn't work yesterday. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I can show you this at any point if you need to see it. My point is, and my question is, on August 7th, you learned your father died from your grandfather, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have, you were at work and then you go home and you start drinking, correct?
Yes, sir.
You learn a little bit later that it's not like a natural death and there are police involved, correct?
Yes, sir.
There are police showing up to your house, they're searching it, they're talking to Nikki, Devin, they're talking to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You acknowledged with defense counsel earlier, you were not entirely truthful about the depth of your relationship with Nikki, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Explain to this jury, let them look at you and say, why is it that you were not entirely truthful about your relationship with Nikki on the day one?
I wasn't entirely truthful with our relationship because I didn't know that my father was murdered, and I didn't want anybody to talk about that. I tried to fill some shoes that I shouldn't be filling.
Okay. So, do you even know at the time you're giving this interview that Nikki was a potential suspect?
I was unaware for the whole thing. I just didn't know why the cops were in the house.
Okay. Did there come a point in time in the intervening or the days after August 7th where you start to suspect she had something to do with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that easy for you to come to that understanding?
Absolutely not.
Okay. She was your wife, she is your wife.
Yes, sir.
Again,
You
change that, sir.
cared for 2 children together, you had a lot of sexual history with this person, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to see her go to jail or get arrested for this?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, and I should clarify. In the days where you're just suspecting and you're still kind of figuring out what's going on, did you want her to go to jail and lose her kids for this?
Once I found out after the news article, yes.
Okay, so once you find out what actually happened to your dad and you presume she did it, you want her to go to jail, fair.
Yes, sir.
But before that, you're not in any of this interviews blaming it on her, correct? We agree there.
Yes, sir.
You're not saying she must have done it. You're just giving history.
Yes, sir.
You minimize your relationship. We can agree.
Yes, sir.
Okay. With regard to the questioning Mr. Draskovich went through with the when you learned your dad was moving into the Porcupine Room address. I want to talk about this for a moment. Before I get into the transcript, as you sit here right now, when is it that you think you learned that your dad was moving into the residence?
It was talked about before. I drank a lot, according to the paper. I did know about it apparently, but
Okay.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
Okay. So, and bottom of page 8. I'm going to read verbatim. You are asked about line 300, counsel. Okay, so then you knew he was moving in and she told you that you were going to have to move out, period. You respond, recently, yes. It was kind of a short notice, but yeah, period. And, period, I mean, period, I know the person he is, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it, period. They then ask, okay, and you were going to move out. Did he knew that you lived here or didn't know that you lived here? You responded, no, he knew I lived there. Detective says, and then, ... and you continue and you say, but since I didn't talk to him and she was going over there for the girls and him, I kind of stayed away. I guess they would talk about it and she ran it by me. I drink a lot, so she ran it by me apparently, and I was gonna move out for a short period of time until he got on his feet and I was gonna come back. Does that sound accurate? Do you dispute what is in the statement?
Yes, sir.
Does it sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
You're not disputing what's in the statement.
No, sir.
So even back then, you're telling them.
And this is where the defense not giving all of this, I mean, we can agree, and I think that the state is doing a good job of kind of rehabbing, all of the lies that he's told. Again, I think that the jury is going to understand, and, as much as he's not really said a whole hell of a lot, I think they would understand the motivation behind maybe not letting everyone know that you're banging your father's ex.
I'm like, I drink a lot. She apparently told me this.
Yes, sir.
As you sit here right now, do you 100% remember when you learned your dad was going to move in?
No, sir.
Okay. Had you known beforehand, before his death, would that have caused you to fight him, hurt him, kill him?
No, sir.
Would you have had any reason to kill him?
No, sir.
Did you want out of this relationship with Nikki at varying points of time?
Yes, sir.
And so had your dad moved in and you've been told you got to go stay at a buddy's house or move out or whatever, would that have been a big deal for you at the time?
Absolutely not.
All right, thank you, Debbie. I pass it to Mr.
Can you agree, Mr. Johnson?
Yes. This whole issue about the sexual relationship that you had with Devin, beginning when you were 19, you didn't speak to the prosecutor or anybody about that until yesterday, correct?
Yes, sir.
You watched this opening statement, didn't you? Our opening statement, where we laid out what was in the phones. Isn't that right?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you watched the opening statement in this case, didn't you?
What was the opening statement in this case?
You don't know what an opening statement is or the opening statement?
again, defense attorney, you are giving this man more credit for being able to be a mastermind, to be clever. This man didn't. This man wakes up at the crack of noon. Okay, on days he doesn't have to work. Holy crap! He did not watch the opening statement and take notes and like I'm gonna figure my way out of this. This man doesn't remember yesterwember, let alone yesterday.
I don't go to court a lot.
I see. So she's on trial, you're in California, or you're getting here, and you didn't watch this?
I seen the YouTube video.
Then you talked to the prosecutor about these issues, correct? So you watched the YouTube video, you watched the opening statement, correct? And you adjusted, isn't that right?
What do you mean by adjusted?
You know, you received
balls.
a couple of texts from your father. (10/24/2022). You have nothing to tell me? WTF. I thought you were my seed. If what I know, I can't fuck with you. And he sent you another one a moment after that. Devil shit, correct?
Listen,
I have no further questions.
Anybody understand?
What YouTube video did you see and when did you see it?
it was earlier in the year. I think it was about the custody case. It wasn't about this one.
Okay, so that line of questioning just now was a bit misleading, so let me clarify something.
I'd object. The question was clear. It's whether it's his answer, I think, is misleading. So
Mr. Giordani's objection, Mr. Giordani's characterization is going to be sustained. Mr. Giordani, if you think something needs to be clarified for this jury, you can ask the clarifying question.
Okay,
The judge
so the
in
way,
the house.
maybe I mischaracterized or misunderstood the question. I thought the question was, did you watch a YouTube video last night of the opening statement that happened in this trial?
No, sir. I'm sorry. The video that I had witnessed was over the custody case, I believe.
Yeah, like months ago, correct?
Yeah, earlier
Okay.
this year.
Did you watch any footage from this trial before hitting the stand?
No, sir.
Okay. So what you're testifying to is not based on something Mr. Draskevich said yesterday or the day before? Because you wouldn't know what he said, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when we met last night, I told you, I'm not going to tell you what anybody said in court. I want to hear the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I said the most important thing is to tell the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing that?
Yes, sir.
Pass witness.
Any follow-up, Mr. Justice?
you're capable of not quite telling the truth when it's to your benefit. Fair to say?
I just didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I see. You reviewed those transcripts prior to your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you spoke with investigators from the district attorney's office in preparation for this trial, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
They went through what your testimony was going to be. They went through what your statements were going to be, correct?
Yes, sir.
They provided you transcripts of your prior statements, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't until last night that you talked about having this sexual relationship with your wife. About 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
And just last night's the first time you talked about it. Just so we're clear, correct?
Talk to what?
To the prosecutor about this relationship that you had with Deviere. Last night was the first time, correct?
Well, he is Deviere.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. But
It's okay.
with Deviere, you spoke with Mr. Giordani last night for the first time, correct? About your relationship with Devin Michaels. Going back to 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any follow-up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got to clarify. Just so everyone understands, you testified at a prior proceeding where I questioned you, the grand jury thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, sir.
And you talked about the relationship and you said it was sexual after the first year and it went up and until your dad's death.
Yes, sir.
That's back in September of 23.
Yes, sir.
Last night, you flew in out of state, you came with your girl, and you met with us with a witness present, a guy with a badge. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't know if it was meant to be suggested this way, but what I heard was they told you what to say or something like
Oh,
that?
I object to that. No, I didn't. That wasn't my
Okay.
question, so that was not,
Okay.
okay.
So we asked you questions, correct?
Yes.
And I told you, I can't tell you anything that's happened in court. That would be unethical, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I told you to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness.
Follow, Mr. Justice.
Just so we're clear, I'm not accusing him of any wrongdoing. I'm just saying yesterday was the first time that you had a discussion about having a relationship with your wife, a sexual
Yeah.
relationship, from the time you were 19, correct?
No, sir. It sounds like I was already interviewed about it and I talked about it.
I read you your grand jury transcript. No, that was in the context of your marriage. You never testified before the grand jury about having a sexual relationship with your wife that began when you were 19, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
Follow.
No, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury have any questions for this witness?
I would not
Seeing
be
no
shocked.
response, sir, you are excused. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
That's interesting because this indicates to me that the jury either has decided to kind of either not take any of his testimony on, because I do think that there needs to be some clarifying questions, at least for me as a juror. So, of all the witnesses, I would figure that, you know, this would be a witness that the jury would want to hear more questions from. So this is the end of day 2. Tomorrow we will get into day 3. We will probably not be having anything on Christmas unless I am feeling super froggy or the kids are, you know, ready to take a break. But on Wednesday this week, I should be getting my new digital notebooky thing. So I'll be, you know, figuring that out. I will say this case has been weird. I don't know what the defense thought they got done with that particular witness. Now, knowing that she was found guilty, obviously nothing. Do I think he was a star witness for either the state or the defense? No. He was really hard to understand. He does have a lower register, but the audio was really bad and he doesn't enunciate. So a lot of what he said was kind of hit or miss. But the truth is, and the bottom line is, unfortunately for the defense, there is nothing, you know, even tangentially linking him to the evening, you know, the place and time of this incident, but there are no forensic links either. So there was a reason that she got found guilty, despite him, the defense attorney, trying to make him look like a liar. I think anyone, you know, can see that he did not have a good relationship with the truth, but those lies did seem to be kind of, you know, really focused on the marriage and kind of the salaciousness of that. I will be sending you over to Flux. She is on build 42 of, let's see, Zomboid Robots. So that will be awesome sauce. Give her some love. Thank you all for joining me. We will be back tomorrow. And, you know, I'll be hanging out doing mornings with Mo and then on this channel. And we will probably get done with this by, I would say, the end of the week. And then we will head into the Park case or trial, depending on what we have, or we might find another trial that we haven't done in a while. So it will be up to that. But thank you all so much for joining. Please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go out and get stuff to make cookies and stocking stuffers. So I think on the agenda this year, because, okay, I don't know if it's just me, but my husband and I both love the Great British Bake Off show. And I really want to make some biscotti this year. We're going to make our traditional cream cheese, sugar cookies, and gingerbread. So those are the cookies that I think we're going to make this year. Maybe meringues if I'm feeling super froggy, but I doubt it. But the boys like just the regular chocolate chip and frosting stuff. But thank you guys so much for joining. I am going to go brave, Kroger or Walmart. And then we are going to be back tomorrow with the same crazy and all the ridiculousness. Hopefully today, I will also get my, costume haul filmed because that is on the agenda as well. So hopefully I get all that done. Please give Flux some love and thank you so much for joining today. Bye, you guys.